Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rob McCartney. Veterans Day is tomorrow. It's a time to thank those who've served our country for their sacrifices. But at some time, usually, a veteran has to hang up their uniform and look at life as a civilian. For some, though, that may be their biggest battle. So this morning, we're talking about the transition programs created, trying to ensure that a move from a military life to a civilian life is a smooth one. We begin highlighting a veteran-run business that's helping vets get back on the road to success. It's called Moving Veterans Forward, and the small organization got a big shot in the arm this summer when a Gretna truck driving school gave them $8,000. Chronicle's Quinicia Fraser has a story.
At this space in Papillion,
but we try to empower the veteran to come down and pick out their furniture.
You'll find everything from lampshades and pillows.
We load them up into our trucks and we move them that day.
To toiletries, donations that help make any kind of move smoother for veterans in need.
We started Moving Veterans Forward in 2010, and it was after the end of my military career.
Ron Hernandez is the founder.
My first deployment was to Panama in 1989. We all remember Noriega. I was with the 82nd Airborne, and then did some tours in Bosnia and Kosovo, then a couple in Iraq.
And after spending years in combat, he now has a new battle to fight.
Yes, April 7th, I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Doctors say Hernandez has 6 months to a year to live.
But mission is not complete. We have homeless veterans every day. I do my chemo, I come into work, we're still pushing forward, moving veterans.
Hernandez got an $8,000 donation from Custom Diesel Drivers Training out in Gretna.
And look at this partnership we got right here.
Great partnership.
That partnership recently helped Kenny Bradford, a Navy veteran from Omaha.
Got my license on Friday, and it's going to be a life changer for me.
Ken Walker with Custom Diesel Drivers Training helped Bradford get his CDL. Soon, Bradford will be a truck driver for Warner Enterprise.
It's going to be amazing to watch his life change within just the next 2 months.
Moving Veterans Forward is helping Bradford move out of his apartment. For Hernandez, helping his fellow man is the driving force behind his motivation to keep pushing forward in life.
I have nothing to complain about. There's guys living underneath bridges, living in ditches, that need our help, need our support, need our care.
That's Quinicia Fraser reporting. Now, the helping veterans as they look to a civilian life is one thing. And here with me now is John Hilgert. He is director of Nebraska's Department of Veterans Affairs. John, thanks so much for being here today. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Hey, what kinds of challenges are we talking about when veterans move from military to civilian?
Everybody has challenges when they change jobs, and the same thing for veterans. And they have a little added thing because their next job may not be as exciting as their job in the service.
Right.
But, one of the things is we want them to come to Nebraska. We want them to stay in Nebraska. And if they're from Nebraska, we want them to come home. And we do a lot of things at the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs to make them feel welcome, to try to open up doors for our veterans, and to make sure that that transition from military life to civilian life is a successful one, and it can be. There's a lot of help out there.
Talking about some of the things you do, actually, you just helped open a new resource, the Nebraska Resource Center at Offutt Air Force Base. You were at the ribbon cutting, the video of it right there. I mean, this is pretty unique, is it not?
It is unique. It is the only one in the United States. It's the only one in the world.
Really?
Yeah. We, there's other state departments that reach out to military installations. That's not uncommon, and we did that as well. But no one has put an office in the town square, which is the base exchange, I like to call it, at Offutt Air Force Base, right across from the uniform sales. Everyone knows where that's at if you're in the service. And we have a Nebraska Resource Center. It's staffed by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. It's in cooperation with the Greater Omaha Chamber of Commerce. They actually pay our rent. Thank you. They're great partners. And then also the Veterans of Foreign Wars chipped in and helped us outfit it with some of the materials, and the University of Nebraska as well. They had some equipment that they let us have. So
what does it do? I mean, so it's at the, it's at the BX.
It's at the BX.
Yeah.
It's staffed by an accredited state service officer, which is someone that can help a veteran or service member access those VA benefits and apply for different benefits, service-connected disabilities, whatnot, help GI Bill questions, different transition to the insurance plans that when you transition out. But it's a little bit more than that. I told her, you know, you don't have to make every basket, but you need to hit the rim. And, you know, so we've if you have whatever question that you have, you know, if a military family member or a military service member comes into Omaha and says, where's the best place to kayak? And you go, well, that'd be the NRD, there's a list. What's an NRD? I mean,
sure, right,
yeah.
right. Yeah.
So we can answer all those questions. You know, we had a soft opening in September. She's already run out of business cards. We've had questions about, obviously, service-connected disabilities, updates on different benefits from veterans who use the base exchange, but service members. We had one question where the visa on my fiancée is running out. I'd like to extend that. I mean, that's not something the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs usually does.
Right.
But we were able to point them in the right direction and get them the assistance they need. Questions like, you know, studio apartments. A lot of studio apartments. So it's going to be very, very busy, and we just want to make sure you say we have a welcome to Nebraska. We support the families, the military service members, and the veterans that use the base exchange.
You were also at an unveiling last week of the United Way's expansion of its 211 hotline. I mean, this is different. This is hands-on.
Well, you know, it's the maturation of our relationship with the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, the state with Offutt Air Force Base, and the no-fail mission that they have there. The 211 is something that the United Way has that is a conduit for assistance. And what we did, our participation, is to give some foundational resources. So we have, there'll be a dedicated veteran, service member family expert that will receive those calls to make sure that the unique needs, challenges, and concerns of our veterans community and military community are answered through that 211 service. So they're really laser focused at serving our service members and their families and our veterans. So it's a great relationship. And so when I saw that United Way application come across my desk, I said, this is a great fit and really serves the intent of the legislature when they helped establish that grant program that we have for our military installations.
It sounds like you said, a perfect fit. Now these are experts who are helping people, but a lot of times veterans, I mean, they don't reach out to experts, but they have family members and loved ones. What can they do to help veterans?
You know, and again, our door is open to family members as well. In fact, that's not uncommon that the family member reaches out to us first. You know, say, hey, my spouse is having some issues, or I know that, but he doesn't want to, or she doesn't want to take advantage of those services. Right. You know, I like to tell people, you know, hey, when America says thank you, you say you're welcome. You take the benefit. Right. And sometimes they need a little push to do that. These are their benefits. They've earned it. It's a way to say thank you. It's a way that, you know, we do our part to help force readiness to make sure that, you know, the soldier or the airman,
my dad appreciated it.
Right? You know, can focus on the mission. I mean, their mission is very, very serious. Things need to be taken care of back home. We want to help them do that.
Is the state doing enough? You mentioned keeping. We want to keep this talent in the state, right? I mean, because they have unique skill sets.
Well, Governor Pillard, you know, he likes to say, what's special about Nebraska? It's the people, and he's dead on, spot on. And we want to make sure that people feel welcome here, that they are welcome here. And part of the way to do that is to say, okay, what would you like to do? What do you need? Let's help you make those connections. Every single soldier or returning member who's leaving the service gets a letter from the governor. Gets a packet of information from the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs called a Welcome Home Packet. And they may not be coming back to Nebraska, but they're going to get this in the mail. Nice. And they're going to be encouraged to come to Nebraska and check us out. There's a lot of job openings, a lot of opportunity in this state, and we want them to come home. And bring your friends, too.
Bring your friends, too. Hey, John, I appreciate you coming in today. I'm going to leave it there.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your service.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right. Well, next here on KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle, University of Nebraska Omaha named one top university for veterans. programs they have for those out of military service so they have a bright future once they graduate.